Good afternoon. The subcommittee will come to order. We meet today to discuss the President's fiscal year 2020 budget, request for military construction, family housing, and base realignment and closure for the Department of Defense. I would like to begin by recognizing today's panel. Today we will hear from representatives of all the military services as well as the Office of the Secretary of Defense. For three of our witnesses, this will be their final appearance in front of our subcommittee before their retirements this summer, which I'm sure you have mixed emotions about being in front of the subcommittee. Joining us are the Honorable Robert McMahon, Assistant Secretary of Defense for Sustainment, Lieutenant General Gwendolyn Bingham, Assistant Chief of Staff of the Army for Installation Management, who is retiring after 38 years of service, and we very much appreciate you. Vice Admiral Dixon R. Smith, Deputy Chief of Naval Operations for Fleet Readiness and Logistics, retiring after 37 years of service. Again, thank you for your service. Major General Vincent Colonese, Commander of the Marine Corps Installations Command and Assistant Deputy Commandant, Installations and Logistics, who is retiring after 36 years of service. And again, we appreciate all of you and all that you represent very, very much. Brigadier General John Allen, Air Force Deputy Chief of Staff for Logistics, Engineering, and Force Protection, and Director of Civil Engineers, who is not retiring. But I also want to thank you for your 27 years of service. The fiscal year 2020 base budget request of $11.2 billion reflects a 9% increase over the fiscal year 2019 enacted level of $10.3 billion. While it's great to see an increase in the MILCON request for the second consecutive year, reversing years of underfunding while simultaneously building ready and resilient installations will remain a challenge. The increased complexity of facilities needed to support today's weapon systems and new platforms is driving complex designs, higher costs, and aggressive construction schedules. Additionally, efforts to support several multi-billion-dollar recapitalization initiatives culminate in large and complex projects taking up a greater share of the budget. We are all aware that this portfolio has been taking on increasing levels of risk for years, and affordability continues to decrease as cost of the construction projects continues to rise. This is evident in this year's request as the top 20% of projects account for half of the budget. The fiscal year 2020 budget request begins to improve our infrastructure, but the total MILCON request is still less than 3% of the total Department of Defense budget. Congress and departments must collaborate to find innovative solutions to deliver facility investments with constrained resources. This is an urgent need given that MILCON not only supports new weapon platforms, but are interdependent on purpose-built infrastructure, but it also provides for hospitals, schools, and housing to improve the quality of life for our service members and their families. To that end, I am pleased that the Office of the Secretary of Defense and the services are developing and implementing efforts on infrastructure management and reform. I look forward to learning more about the services implementing these initiatives and hearing how they will improve existing processes. The fiscal year 2020 Overseas Contingency Operation European Deterrence Initiative request is $645 million, a decrease from the fiscal year 2019 enacted level of $921 million. I would be remiss if I didn't note that the $9.2 billion emergency request to support hurricane reconstruction efforts in the national emergency at the southern border. The damage at Tyndall Air Force Base in Camp Lejeune is truly devastating, and I think we must rebuild in a smart, thoughtful manner as quickly as we responsibly can. I also believe that border security is an urgent need that should be a priority. Clearly, work remains to be done in order to achieve the level of border security that the American people are calling on Congress to deliver, and this will require a whole-of-government effort. I don't think I'm exaggerating if I say the specific request in front of the subcommittee is unprecedented and will spark passionate debate among my colleagues. However, I remain hopeful that the subcommittee can work together in our traditional bipartisan fashion to develop a bill that supports the department and our service members.